The day you change your mind, it will change your life. We as humans, we're so afraid of the unfamiliar. I've never done that before. I've never been over there. I've never let anybody else manage me before. I've never hung out with these people before.
Develop the habits. You've got the brain power, you've got the energy, but develop the habits of success.
So how do you start a business with no money under the worst conditions that your backer doesn't want to give you a dime? What do? Get ready for a lot of rejection, and at the same exact time, do the things others don't want to do. Do what's necessary, do what it takes, no matter what it is, and try not to hurt anybody along the way.
You know, I often say there should be 12 people at the table, right? And we're having a discussion about something. And something may turn up that could be an opportunity. Half the people don't recognize it's an opportunity. A lot of people are comfortable in what they're doing. They don't want change.
The thing about being an entrepreneur is it's just all to you. You know, a lot of people like to make excuses. I don't have connections, I don't have money, I don't have this. But, you know, if you find something that you like to do or love to do, be great at it and see if you can turn it into a business. In worst case, you're going to have fun doing what it is you love to do. In best case, you can turn it into a business. I'm just not big on excuses. I just think if everybody has that opportunity to go for it. They just got to do it.
Whatever it is that you want to do, there's going to be risk in your life, and risk is a necessary component of progress. You can make any pioneering movements in the world of any kind, whether they be the geographical, physical exploration that I've just been talking about, or whether it be a more cerebral exploration of a scientific field. Or I bet you could ask that question of every speaker here, and I bet that every speaker here has taken substantial risks, whether it be intellectual or otherwise, to achieve what they've done.
What happens with people is we tend to go out into the world and we look for those sort of excuses about why things aren't the way we want them. And when you do that, you lose all your power in life. When you start focusing on the external, on the excuses, you lose your power. Here's the way people really think. I will tell you, I can go out onto stage and bomb. You go out there and you just bomb, right? And people will respect you for going out there and trying your hardest. It's not how you actually perform that earns you the respect of your peers. It's the fact that you went out and actually did it. That's the difference. So if you're out there right now and you're a new salesperson or you're struggling as a salesperson, there's no embarrassment in the struggle. There's just not. The embarrassment is in quitting. The embarrassment is in not trying your hardest.
If you treat people well, people will come back and come back for more. And it's a very small world. I actually think that the best way of becoming a successful business leader is dealing with people, fairly and well, and like to think that's how we run Virgin.
I've always just really enjoyed just the competition of business. I think, in the sports business, I'll talk to our players and it'll be like, well, you guys compete for 48 minutes and you practice a couple hours and you work on your game independently a couple hours. But the ultimate sport is business, because you have to compete with everybody and you have to do it 24/7 by 365 days a year forever. And there's always somebody out there trying to kick your butt. There's always somebody who looks at your business and says, I can do that better, I have a better idea. And you have to compete with that person. And all the while you have to make your customers happy, your employees happy. It's the competitive side of me that, in any entrepreneur, that I think that has to drive you, and I think that carries over into the Mavericks. I want to win, and I want to compete.
When you're starting something, it's just kind of hard. You need to be pretty headstrong about it, right? And there are going to be all these challenges that come up, and I think the main thing that you need to do is just not give up, right? And kind of know what you want to do. And you know, the best entrepreneurs who I've met don't really start companies because their goal is to build a company. They do it because they want to make a change in the world and help people. And I think if you kind of stay true to that, and if you just focus on kind of powering through no matter what the challenges are that will inevitably come up in your path, then you'll find that there are lots of tools that are available and a lot of people who will help you build what you're building.
Poor people believe they are creatures of circumstance. That means that the life happens to them. You get that? While rich people are creators of circumstance. I will tell you this, there is no more destructive belief in the world than to think that life happens to you. Because there's three things that you do when you don't think that you can create your own destiny. I'll tell you exactly what they are, right? Number one, the first thing you do is you play what I call the blame game. You start blaming everybody for why you don't have what you want. You'll blame the government, you'll blame your family, you'll blame your spouse, you'll blame your boss, you'll blame the economy, you'll blame the people on Wall Street, which probably deserve some blame, but you'll blame anybody and everybody when you think the world happens to you. You're powerless. The second thing you do is you justify. It is because the economy stinks. It's because people are unfair to me. It's because money doesn't really matter anyway. Third, and this is the worst one of all, so write it down in big letters, they complain. I hate these people. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I do believe in some laws of the universe. I do. And one of them is that what you focus on expands, gets bigger, and what you focus on, you attract. Because you move towards it. You're focusing on something you attract. So here's what happens. When you're complaining, what are you focusing on?
One of the things that companies do, or startups do, they come up with an idea, they'll Google it, and if they don't see it in the first 2 pages, they think it's original. You've got to go back, right? Because over the past 15 years, there's so many different businesses that have tried and failed. You have to go back and find those and learn from those. So you've got to understand all the implications, and you have to learn from history. And so the best advice I can give you on a video before talking to you or emailing with you is that you've got to find out the history of people who have tried your idea, because there's a 99.99999% chance that your idea has been tried before. That's not a good reason not to start it, because you might be able to outperform them, but you better learn from the history of your idea, because you know what they say about people who don't learn from history.